Welcome to Seconds with Jude Wonders. Today I want to talk about 3 major red flags in a guy. If there is a guy you are in a relationship with and you really plan settling down with this guy, there are 3 things you must watch out for. Number 1, any guy who still has unresolved damage, a guy who still has hurt in his heart towards his father. That emotion is an emotion you're not able as a lady to handle in the guy. Why? Because at one point or the other in the guy's life, that void, that unresolved emotion will end up being a problem. Number 2, any guy who is suffering from low self-esteem and inferiority complex. It is an emotion in the guy also you as a lady, trust me, you're not willing to bear when you're married to him. Why? Because a guy who is easily intimidated, a guy who always talks down against himself, it will be difficult for you to be a life partner to him. You can't marry someone who's always pessimistic about their own self. That emotion is dangerous in a guy's life. Number 3, a guy who has money issues. When I'm talking about money issues, I'm talking about a guy who is addicted to having money, or a guy who doesn't know how to spend money, or a guy who just doesn't know how to manage money. It's either he's an overspender or he's an underspender. You must have a guy who is able to manage finances rightly. When settling down with a guy, you must do a thorough check on these 3 things. Does he still have daddy issues, unresolved daddy emotions, emotions? Does he have low self-esteem and inferiority complex issues, or does he have money issues? You must handle those 3 things now before marrying him, else that relationship is already a toxic one. Thank you very much. Keep watching Seconds with Jude Wonders on Ablaze TV.
Most times, I don't know why I did this particular video. About the things that every lady must watch out for in a relationship. Some things every lady must watch out for in a relationship. The first thing, especially in the guy, red flags in the guy. The first thing I made mention of was, let us play the video again and see. Let's play the video again.
Seconds with Jude Wonders. Today I want to talk about 3 major red flags in a guy. If there is a guy you are in a relationship with and you really plan settling down with this guy, there are 3 things you must watch out for. Number 1, any guy who still has unresolved daddy issues. A guy who still has hurt.
The first part was a guy who has unresolved daddy issues. Now, most times we are concerned about why is this particular point important. Let me just write it down there. A guy who has daddy issues. Now, I made a video and I said I was trying to talk about the different things that every guy needs in his life. Some things that every guy needs and why those things are important. And one of the things I said a guy needs in his life is he needs a father. He needs a father. That was one of the things I said a guy needs. A guy needs a father. He needs his father in his life. And so guys learn, you get it? Guys learn from the males that are ahead of them. Guys learn from the males that are ahead of them. They look up to the males that are ahead of them and they learn from them. And so a guy who has daddy issues is a man who is angry at his father. It's sad, but it's sad to know this, but most children right now are born out of wedlock. It's a fact. Most children now are born out of wedlock. A guy can impregnate a lady, and very soon you don't know where the father of the child is. The child goes, maybe because he's not ready to commit, and then the woman is left to raise the child alone, and so the child grows up with the absence of a father figure. Now the guy grows up with pain in his heart. He grows up being hurt. It's a very important thing to pay attention to. Why? Because when the child is growing up and it's like, Mom, where's my father? And then he's unable to identify who the father is or doesn't know where the father is. At that particular point in time, there is a hurt in the guy's heart. And now that hurt, it changes the boy. It changes the guy. It causes him to look at life in a whole different perspective. You get it? Because now he's growing up. He doesn't know how to be a father. He doesn't know how to be a man on his own. You get it? So this boy doesn't know how to be a father. This boy doesn't know how to be a man. And so he has to learn. He has to just adapt. He doesn't also know how to treat a lady. That's also very important. This guy doesn't know how to treat a lady. Why? Because the picture he has about a man is the picture his father gave him. You get it? And so there's also a high chance that he may end up like his father. Because he has a hurt in his heart for his father. And so the advice I'll give every young guy is this: if you have a problem with your father, settle it. And ladies, if you're getting into a relationship with a guy who has problems with his father, he doesn't like his father, he hates his father, if he has daddy issues, see, that pain in his heart, you need to find a way to help him fix it. Why? Because the day is going to come when that guy will be a father also. And he will not know how to relate with his sons. Most guys, the issue is we think like this: my father did this to me, and so I'm going to do better to my children. Not all guys think like that. Not all guys sit and they are like, oh, my father was irresponsible, so I have to be responsible. Most guys don't think that way. Most guys are more like, oh, my father was irresponsible, and so I don't care anymore about life. That's how some of the guys think. And so it's important for, if you're in a relationship with a guy, ladies, and that guy is a problem. That guy has a problem with his father. He has unresolved that emotion. He doesn't take advice from his father because he hates his father or something like that. I will advise you, ladies, and insist, let that guy settle his problems with his father. Unless the father maybe is dead, then you must try to make him either forgive his father or make peace with his father, be in good terms with his father before allowing that guy to come into your life. The reason why that is also very important is because I made a second video, and I based on a request. And in that video, we were talking about one of the major things every girl needs. And one of the things I said every girl needs a father. And so one of the things that the guy must be to a girl is not really the boy, a lover. The guy must be her father, must take that position of a father, must be able to give her that security and that love that a father can give the daughter. That's very important. The man must be able to give that the lady a love and a security, a sense of safety that her father can give her. And so when a girl is looking at a guy, and when a girl decides to settle down with a guy, one of the things she desperately needs from inside of her is a place of safety, it's a place of comfort, it's a place of security, and she can find that mostly in her father, unless she also was also raised in a home where father was not all of that. And so that's one of the things the ladies need. They need safety, and so it must be in the guy. But now, if she's dating a guy who has daddy issues, the guy does not know how to provide that fatherly, that father safety space for the girl, and so the guy will be destructive in a relationship. Find those guys who are destructive in their relationship, who are hurting the girl, who are physically abusive. There are people who had daddy issues. Check, they had father issues somewhere. They were either not in good terms with their fathers, or their fathers were not in the picture, or there was something wrong. There was something wrong. Let us look at the next point. The next point I spoke about, I said a guy who has daddy issues. The next was a guy that has low self-esteem. A guy who has low self-esteem. I'm going to explain why I think that particular point is very important. The first red flag I gave there was a guy who has daddy issues. The second I gave was a guy who has low self-esteem. Now, the reason why that particular point of low self-esteem is very important is because when a guy has low self-esteem, the guy has to lead. If the guy is the head of the home, then, if the guy has to be the head of the home and he doesn't trust himself, he looks down on himself, what then happens to those who are under him? You get it? You as a lady, maybe you're actually a virtuous lady and you're seeing great potential in this guy. But if that guy cannot see it for himself, then he achieves nothing. He starts settling for less, he starts settling for average. You understand? And at that point now, the guy is toxic. He's toxic to you. Why? Because he's not able to give you an energy that can push you to be better in your life. No, he's not doing that. And that becomes a problem. And so the second point is the guy must be confident, he must be bold, he must settle low self-esteem issues. Another reason why why you cannot afford, ladies, another reason why you cannot afford to settle down with a guy who has low self-esteem is this. When a guy has low self-esteem, see, it's hard for him to handle your success. It's hard for him to handle your success. What if that guy has low self-esteem and then you're in a relationship with him and then you're succeeding more than him? You get it? He automatically shrinks in his shell. He automatically just shrinks. He starts feeling like he's worth nothing. Why? Because you're excelling more than him. But a guy who has settled that esteem issues, that low self-esteem issues, when the guy settles it, see, he becomes more confident. He helps you grow. You get it? He's not threatened by your rising. That kind of guy is not threatened by your rising. He's not threatened by your progress. He's not. He helps you grow. You get it? He helps you grow. And so you cannot afford to be in a relationship with a guy who has low self-esteem issues. I mean, like, it's going to be a limitation into your life, and that's an emotion you cannot handle in a guy. Why? Because imagine you as a lady, you're walking out and then you see another guy and you're like, and you pay a compliment to that guy. What happened then to your own boyfriend or to your husband? He starts feeling less because you're appreciating another guy. See, you cannot afford to be in a relationship with a guy who has low self-esteem, who is not able to make a decision based on himself. He's not on his own. He's not able to put a target and pursue it confidence and both. He's not aware of his ability. He's not aware of his strengths. It's going to be difficult to be in a relationship with such a guy. One of the reasons is this: the lady is built to be a helpmate. The lady is built, she's fashioned to be a helpmate onto a guy. And so if you're a helpmate onto a guy, and then you're a helpmate to a guy who doesn't even believe in himself, he doesn't believe in his vision, how then do you want to be a part of his life? You get it? You will not be able to be a part of his life. You will not be able to contribute to his life. You understand why? Because the least thing intimidates him, the least thing pushes him away. And that's why, ladies, I'll advise you, if you want to get into a relationship with a guy, do a check on these 3 things. Number 1, do a check. Does he have daddy issues? Number 2, does he have low self-esteem issues?
Welcome to Second Century Wonders. Today I want to talk about 3 major down with this guy. There are 3 points or the other in the guy's life that void, that unresolved emotion will end up being a problem. Number 2, any guy who is suffering from low self-esteem and inferiority complex. It is an emotion in the guy also. You as a lady, trust me, you're not willing to bear when you're man. The guy who is easily intimidated, the guy who always talks down against himself, it will be difficult for you to be a life partner to him. You can't marry someone who is always pessimistic about their own selves. That emotion is dangerous in a guy's life. Number 3, a guy who has money issues. When I'm talking about money issues, I'm talking about a guy who is addicted to having money, or a guy who doesn't know how to spend money, or a guy who just doesn't know how to manage money. It's either...
Now, talking about this particular point, a guy who has money issues. We have boys who are too money inclined. When I say that, I'm not saying it's not good for a guy to love hard work. It's one thing for a guy to love hard work because he wants to acquire wealth for the purpose of taking care of his life and his family. But when you see a guy who wants to have money at all costs, it's a problem. A guy who is either an overspender or an underspender, it's a problem. A guy who always wants to show off, a guy who always wants to give out money so people can know that he's the odogu at times. You get it? It becomes a problem. It becomes a problem in that relationship. You cannot afford to be in a relationship with a guy who has those problems, money issues. Find a guy who can manage his finances. Find a guy who doesn't value money above every other thing. No. A guy there should be things that should be more important in a guy's life than just having money. You get it? Find a guy who doesn't value money above all other things. Find a guy who can manage finances. Sometimes he may not be able to manage finances, but let him have the consciousness that I have to find a way to manage finances. Find a guy who's not an underspender. When I'm talking about underspenders, I'm talking about guys who are naturally selfish. I've seen guys who are very stingy. They cannot afford to, they have money. They will not give it to anyone. They will not spend it on themselves. They will not spend it on it. They just want to have money and keep it somewhere. You get it? These are things you pay attention before in a guy before getting into a relationship with him. I'm talking as a guy, and so I know the force money has on a guy. When I say I know the force, there's actually a force money has on a guy. And so it's important to pay attention. Is he an underspender or is he an overspender? You get it? It's a problem. How is his savings like? How are investment like? Okay, are there things that he values above money? What are the things that he values in his life above money? What are the things that he values in his life above money? Those things are very important. Pay attention to it. Is this guy controlled by money? You find a guy who can easily compromise because of money, he can easily steal, he can easily cheat because of money, he can scam someone because of money, he can deceive someone because of money. You cannot afford to trust that kind of guy with your heart. You understand? So ladies, pay attention to these 3 points. Number 1, does he have daddy issues, unresolved daddy issues? Has he forgiven his father? Does he have hurt in his heart because of father issues? That's number 1, daddy issues. Number 2, how is his esteem level? Is this guy bold? Is this guy confident? Does he have that low esteem issues? If he has low esteem, you have to help him boost it up, or you cannot afford to continue a relationship with a guy who has esteem issues. Why? Because you don't know how to be a partner to him. You spend your whole time in a relationship being a therapist to him, and it's a problem. He will not be able to achieve anything great. And how are you going to lead him? You get it? And then the 3rd point which you spoke about was the part of money issues. The part of money issues. A guy that has money issues, either an overspender or an underspender, always borrowing money, always indebted, always he spends more on outsiders than on his family. He doesn't save. He just has that kind of life. It's a problem, ladies. Trust me. It's a problem. That's something you cannot handle in a guy. And so the reason why I came on this live broadcast was to just talk a little bit about those 3 red flags. To talk a little bit about those 3 red flags, and to also talk about I think the points, 5 things you must do every day. Things you must do every day. That's one other video I did. And I said, let me see if I have it here. 5 things you must do every single day. Let me try to play it. Yeah.
Every day. One. Pray. I mean, have a detailed conversation with God every day. Today, let's talk about.
Yes, let me just pause it there. The first thing I said was number 1, pray.
Things you must.
The first thing I said was pray. Number 2, the second thing I said was check on those that truly matter. Number 3, I said remember your visions. Number 1, pray. Number 2, check on those that truly matter. Let's talk about the first part. Number 1, pray. When we talk about prayer, we're not just talking about
pray.
Oh Father, thank you today. Thank you for my life. Thank you for everything you have done for me. No. Oh, thank you for this night and bless us and satisfy this meal in Jesus' name. Oh. Father, give me money. Father, give me this. Father, give me that. No, I'm talking about a detailed conversation. You get to sit down and talk with God. Talk with the Holy Spirit. Really put down yourself and talk with the Holy Spirit. Father, you made me on purpose. What is the purpose you have for me today? What do you want me to achieve today? What do you want me to achieve in my life, in my family this day? What is your plan for my life? Have that detailed conversation with God. Have that detailed conversation with God. It's very important. It's very important. So that's what I'm talking about prayer. I'm talking about have a conversation. Have a dialogue with your Father. Number 2, the second thing I spoke about after prayers was check on those that truly matter. Yes, that was the second thing I said. Check on those that truly matter. Let me see what the next was. So the first was pray. The second was check on those that truly matter. And that's the problem we have. We have family members, we have friends out there. We have acquaintances. Most times we can spend hours chatting with random people online. We can spend our whole time discussing with people, but you will hardly send a common text message to a family member, to someone who truly matters to you. I'm talking about your mother. I'm talking about your father. I'm talking about your brothers, your sisters. I'm talking about those that if you get into a coma now and you are dying, the people who will stand for you, the people who will be by your hospital bed 247 every single day with you. You will not check on them. You will not check on them. What will you do? You rather leave them to go and spend time with friends, family members, friends, acquaintances, people who you know very well that if you fall into shock today, they will not be able to check on you. They will not be there for you. And so it's important every day, check on those that truly matter to you. Get to talk with them. Ask them questions. How are you feeling? What are your projects? What are you doing? Get to know about their lives. You get it? You get it? Check on those that truly matter to you. Those who will be there when you hit rock bottom. Those who will be there if you fall asleep. Those who will be there if the world turns their backs on you. Those people who they are hard on you but they'll never turn their backs on you. Every single day, check on those people. The second thing I said after prayers, I said check on those that matter. And after checking on those that matter, remember your vision. Every single day you get up, remind yourself of your vision. Remind yourself of your vision, your goals in life. What are your ambitions in life? What are you set out to do? What are you set out to do? What are your pursuits in this life? Ask yourself every single day. And so when you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what is my purpose again? Remind yourself of it. Okay, this is what I want to. I'm not saying what you want to have. I'm saying what you're built to do. What you want to do. What about wealth? Because it's different from I want to be a millionaire. It's like I want to have money and I want to live a comfortable life. That's not a tangible goal. That's not a goal. Set a vision you want to achieve for yourself. All right, by the end of this year, I need to establish this business. Okay, by the end of this year, I need to finish with my degree program in school. I need to have excellent results in my academics. I need to find increase on my job site. And so put that in your head. Every single day, I have a task. I have something to fulfill. Whenever I get up every day and I see some people, they do things on randomly. They just get up and they don't have a set plan for their lives. They don't know what to do. They just get up in the morning and like, what will I do today? Let me meet the friend. There are people who, there's this popular saying. It says that if you do not have a plan for yourself, you become a part of another person's plan. It's phenomenal. If you do not have a goal for yourself, you end up being a part of someone's own goals. Someone will get up in the morning and just call you, hey, Jude, what are you doing? Are you able to come to my house? Let's chill up. Come, let's go out. You're like, yes, so I'm available. There are some of you they can call at any time and they'll know that you show up. They'll know that you are available. What they are simply trying to tell you is that they feel like you're useless and you have no plan for your life. They're just indirectly telling you that you have no plan for your life. But if people know that, no, let me not call Jude at this time because he's working. Oh, no, let me not call Jude at this time because he's resting. Oh, no, don't call Jude at this time because he has his project he's working on. People, it's important to set a plan for your life and work in accordance to that plan. You get it? And so every single day, remind yourself of your visions, of your goals, of your plans. Okay, when you get up in the morning, I don't feel like going to school, but I have a plan. I need to come out excellent in my academics. You get it? I need to come out excellent academically. I need to be good at what I do. You get it? So it's important to have a plan in your life. Let us look at the next. After remind yourself of your goals. Remind yourself of your visions. Next thing to do. Okay, so I said you meet the right people at the right place. Do a self-check. Yes, that's the next point. The fourth point, I think. Do a self-check. When you get up in the morning, do a self-check. You can do it every week. You can do it every month. You can do it every year. But do it as consistently as possible. What are some changes in my life? You get it? It's important. What are some changes in my life? What are the kind of friends I'm making recently? Are they good for me looking the long term? Are they going to be good for me? Are they bad for me? What are the things I'm learning from them? What are the new lessons I've learned in my life this period? What are some things that I've done that I don't feel like it's me? What are some things that I've done that I feel like it's a seed that if this seed really grows, it's going to destroy my life or it's going to build my life? What are some things I've done this past week, this past day that I can be happy that these things have changed my life and these things were worth doing? You get it? Okay, what are the kind of emotions I've been feeling lately? Are they perverse emotions? Are they good emotions? How you get to do a self-check. What are some new things I've been liking recently? Any new thing? No. What are some things I first liked and I'm not liking them anymore? What has changed? What are some things in my life that I've stopped doing because I'm making excuses? What are some things I've stopped doing because they are bad? What are some things that I really want to start doing in my life? What are some things that I think I have to change? You get to do a self-check. It's very essential in your life. Do a self-check. Talk with yourself. Ask yourself, what are emotions? What are some ideas that I've had but I've ignored? You get it? Am I getting better? Am I becoming a better person? Am I becoming worse in my life? Number five, the fifth thing you must do every day: learn something new. Learn something new. When you get up in the every morning, and then you remind yourself you have to learn something. You can learn something from the experiences of people. You can learn something from reading a book. Just pick a book, read a book, watch a video, an educational video. Learn something new in all the fields in your life. Academically, learn something new. In your work side, in your job, learn something new. Go for knowledge. Desire to learn something new. In your social life, in your spiritual life, in every aspect of your life, desire to get something new. You get it? Desire to learn something, desire to know something, desire to want to achieve something. It's very important. I don't know if someone is getting me. Desire to want to learn something. It's always important. That's the fifth thing you have to do every day. Learn something new. More knowledge is always an added advantage. More knowledge is always an added advantage. I'll say it again. More knowledge is always an added advantage. Whenever you're the most knowledgeable in the sphere, you are more advantageous compared to other people. I hope that helps you. Number one, pray. Number two, check on those that truly matter. I think so, yes. Number three, remind yourself of your daily goals, of your goals and your ambitions. Number four, do a self-check. Yes. Number four was do a self-check. And number five was learn something new. Number one, pray. Number two, check on those that matter. Number three, do a self-check. Number four, remind yourself of your goals and your visions. And number five, learn something new. Learn something new. I think if you apply those things in your life, it's really going to help you as a person. Those are things I do in my own life. I do those 5 things every single day. And so please do it in your own life. And I believe it's going to help you. Please share this video with somebody. Let it bless them also. Bye. I'll see you shortly. Remember to keep following Ablaze TV. Remember to keep following Ablaze TV. We have a lot of interesting shows that are coming up. We are doing a lot of preparations in the background. And remember, if you have an event coming up, you need good publicity for your event. See, Ablaze TV is top-notch with that. We are excellent in that. And so if you need advertisements for your programs coming up, you have an event, you need live coverage, graphic designs. Are you a music minister or a gospel artist or an artist and you need branding, promotion of your music, digital music distribution? See, website building, we are at your service. We are at your service. If you check this scroll down, it says Ablaze TV, get Cameroon's most famous media and marketing team to work for you. Yes, we are available to serve. We are available at the service. Ablaze Media has the most efficient, true, most affordable services, almost true, like marketing, digital marketing and consulting, digital music distribution, advertisement, promotion. Now, when it comes to publicity, we have branding, graphic designs, website development, logo designing, video and photo coverage. That's for your live events, all your events, even broadcast. We have business branding consultancy too. We talk about social media consultancy, management of all your social media accounts. We are available. That's all your social media accounts. We are available to help you build it, to help manage it. Digital arts management. We have content creators. We have everything. People are skillful. Tourism, hospitality, travel, flight consultancy. You want to travel out of this country, I don't know how to. We offer those services too. Content creation. That will help you create and produce talk shows at good professional levels. Blogging and services, creative writing. Ablaze TV is at your service. We're one of the best in Cameroon as of now. And I'll advise you, if you have a little business you want to grow, get to us. You have a big business you want to expand, get to us. We are at your service. By the